What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZORA yet again today, ZORA. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. ZORA being the perfect example of why you do not chase things as a safe haven when the rest of the market's dumping, right? The rest of the market yesterday looked like this. Today, the average altcoin looks like this, right? This is the other chart, the altcoin index. This is what the average altcoin is doing today. They're up about 2.6%. The average altcoin today is up or neutral to some degree. They're certainly not down 17%. And that's not the worst part, right? You're down 17% today, Zora, but the average person probably bought up here. They probably bought, you're down 27%. If we look at this on a 4-hour basis, after this pump, a lot of people probably bought in up here, and again, that's a 27% drop, or anywhere around here. You're at a 17% drop or more likely if you're holding Zora right now if you've bought in the last 24 hours. Not financial. I saw a financial advisor. I love Zora. It's one of my most recent purchases. I think it's going to do very well. Right, we bought it right here, right before the like literally right there at the end of the day, right before the pump happened. The price came all the way back down too. If I said, man, lesson learned, if you have dry powder on the side, just have it in buy orders anyways, right? If it's on the side, just have it in some buy orders that are crazy. That way, if it ever happens, hey, the exchanges are down, you can't set up buy orders, you can't set up sell orders, whatever, it's already there. Just a thought, future thought for future instances. We'll see how that goes for the next cycle, because there are always going to be flash crashes, you guys. They're always going to happen. So it might be a good practice to have dry powder on the side in moments like these. But anyways, getting back to the task at hand here, 7.5 cents, 10 hours, 13 minutes left in the day. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think Zora is going to rebound. I think, and there's a reason why I've been talking about it every day now for the last like 4 days in a row, is because I very much believe that there's a lot of potential here. And I want to talk about something else too beyond Zora. I want to talk about BALAJIS. Okay, for those of you that don't know, BALAJIS is he's the founder, the creator of Zora, and he has his own token, right? Zora. If we go here, let's go to not myx.com, but let's go to Zora here. They have a nice little diagram, right, where it says, on Zora, all posts you make pair with your creator coin, and all creator coins pair with Zora. Welcome to the new creator economy. So not just any creator, but the creator of Zora. You would imagine, and just any creator coin on Zora will likely do well if Zora is moving up. It'll likely come down if Zora is moving down. But if we look at this, if we look at BALAJIS here, this is the creator of Zora. I have a feeling that this token is going to do phenomenal. I think, and again, if you're bullish on Zora, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but you should buy some BALAJIS. I think they go hand in hand with each other, genuinely. The creator of Zora, the creator coins are directly tied to the success of Zora in itself as well. It just makes sense. It's the same thing, in my opinion, as like buying HBAR and XLM. It's not the exact same thing, but in that kind of sense of comparison as hedging your bets, I think it is. And if we're looking at Zora here, from the low on the 30th of September to the high, it did a 3x. If we look at BALAJIS here, from its low to high, I'm pretty sure it did a little bit less. Yeah, it did just under a 3x. But now, we look at the high to low, we look at the drop, high to low here, it's only dropped 37%, which is, I say only, that's a pretty big amount. And then this one here has dropped 40%. So Zora is dropping a little bit more than BALAJIS. My theory is actually that BALAJIS will grow more than Zora. It's likely going to see more growth. You know, going from a $4 million market cap, it's a very low market cap coin, going from a $4 million to a $40 million or even a $400 million coin is possible in a very short amount of time, where this, to do that same 10x or 100x movement, it might take more time, right? I think when Zora really starts to kick off, we'll see coins like this pop. So again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're investing in Zora, you should probably invest in BALAJIS as well. I'm invested in both. And luckily I'm invested in both because those are the only two projects that really didn't tank yesterday besides Zcash. Or Soon. I don't know if anybody paid attention either, but if you're looking for another token, Soon did not dump yesterday either. It's dumping now, and again, further exemplifying the fact that whatever safe havens existed yesterday are now the not safe places, okay? They're traps. It's there so that if you're a part of this drop, you sell your coins, you buy the ones that are pumping, and then they just drop more. You know what I mean? It creates max pain, so don't do that. But getting back to work here, I'm not getting too distracted, hopefully. From a high to a low, we went all the way up to our 886, 786, went down to the 2272. I would treat yesterday's wick down almost like it didn't exist. Let's act like everything else exists except for the wick down, okay? It existed for a moment if you bought, kudos, bravo, good job. But right now, I think that we're at a point where you go from the 886, 786. Whenever you just rip right through your golden ratio like this, you don't find really any turbulence at all, and you go all the way up here. Typically, you stop somewhere at the 0.5 or the 382 or somewhere in between. So you're right in this loading zone, I want to call it. Let's call it a loading zone, okay? Let's throw on another fib and see if we come up with areas that make sense for this to be the loading zone. In fact, what I want to do is I want to put a line here at this green line at the 0.5, right? Because you typically do go from your 886, 786 to the 0.5, 382 area. Okay, 0.5, and we'll put it at the 382 as well, and then I'm going to delete this fib. Okay, so these two white lines are from the other fib. This is the relevant fib. We're at the 382 to 0.5 area now. I will say it's kind of odd. It would be kind of odd to stop right here, but we're in kind of odd times right now. It would make most sense, I think, to go to the 0.5 or even down to the golden ratio, which the golden ratio is all the way at 6.3 cents, you guys. That's right at prior areas of resistance here. That could be where we go. Absolutely, it could be where we go. I wouldn't be too terribly surprised if it was, especially with everything that's going on in the markets right now. All the hype from crypto has left, hasn't it? Looking at this on a 1 hour time frame. Let's start there and then we'll zoom out. 1 hour time frame here. No volume, which is nice. That's nice. ZORA on Coinbase. I don't think it's on anything else. Right? You've got perps on Binance, but it's not spot. This is the biggest spot exchange for ZORA, and there's not a whole lot of volume. So that's nice to see. Not a whole lot of volume on the way down. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but that's typically a good thing. 1 hour RSI looks bearish. Stochastics look bearish, and the MACD is freshly bearish. I think these all say that we have more to go. Right? The fact that we didn't hold this area for support tells me that we do have more to go, but that's okay. The next area to look at might be about 6 cents or something between there and 6.5 cents, maybe 7 cents. So a little bit lower to go nonetheless. I'll be buying more. I'm absolutely going to buy more. I've got buy orders set up. 4 hour RSI. If we're looking at the 4 hour RSI, you do look like you're in a nice pronounced uptrend, right? Even dating back here, you're just kind of going up, higher lows and all that. You could go lower. With this, it kind of implies you're at an area to bounce, and maybe you are. But after getting so deep into the overbought zone, after seeing a 90 read on your RSI, it might be time to meander down to the oversold zone and then come back up from there, right? That might be what it's time for. Just because I'm saying that doesn't mean it has to happen, but just a thought there. Stochastics would suggest that we go lower, right? Typically, you don't get like this unless you're going to the oversold zone, right? Show me one spot where we found support right here. Okay, that's not fair. Show me one time we found support right there. When we're moving up, it's different. When we're moving down, it's different. Okay, trust me. I'm not just saying that to cherry pick. I mean that. When we're moving down, it's different. Technically, you were moving down here, but you were overall moving up. You see what I'm saying? You did start moving down here, and you found support there. It happens. It's just not the commonality. It's not what you normally see. So I wouldn't expect that you find support here. It's not that it's impossible. I just wouldn't expect it personally. And then again, to just kind of back that idea up from a low to a high, the Fibonacci, where we are, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to stop here. Does that mean that we can't find support here? No, we absolutely could. I've seen us find support in all kinds of areas that have nothing to do with the fibs on various charts. But no, I think that we have lower to go, a little bit lower to go. The MACD also with the fresh cross on the 4 hour time frame makes me think we do have more to go as well. Okay, there's a couple of things coinciding there with more to go. Daily time frame rejecting the overbought zone, definitely a signal that we could, well, we're at the area to bounce. We're at the 60 or the 50 or the 40. In bullish circumstances, it's one of those three areas. So we're at area 1 now. Does this hold? I don't think so. That means we're looking for 50. The 50, you find support here before, a little bit above here before, right at it there, resistance there. It's a pretty significant level, it looks like. So I would think that we do go down there and respect it. Going down to the 50 on the RSI definitely could promote the idea of going down to 6 to 6.5 cents. I'm very much a proponent of that belief there. If we're looking at this from a high to a low, look at that right there, your 382, right there, man, at about 6.6 cents. So something in and around that area makes a whole lot of sense. That's what I think is going to happen. Stochastics rejected the overbought zone, makes me think that we have lower to go. MACD, it's trying. It's trying. Once it crosses above the zero, that's going to be phenomenal. But I think, fortunately enough, we're going to have a moment of pause, a moment of contemplation here before we start to rally and move higher. I ultimately do believe that ZORA will see new all-time highs, and this is where the fun part is, you guys. We zoom out, we look at Coinbase here. This chart is nothing but just a non-stop move up and then consolidation. We've only really seen a little bit of life, 3 weeks of life, and then the rest has been consolidation. We've been consolidating now since July. When this thing moves up, you're not going to stop in your primary target zone, the 1272 to the 1618. You might not even stop your 1886 to 2618 area. You might even go all the way up to $1.60 to $2.20, somewhere up there. But those are your kind of three outlined zones. I would think from here, we likely don't stop in the primary target zone. There's going to be some turbulence, but even that at the high point is a 4x. I would expect, because of just this overall voluptuous move, the consolidation, the very healthy consolidation that we've seen so far, and the given market cap right now for ZORA, which is what? It's like 300 million? Yeah, 336 million. I think you have immense potential. I think you have absolutely immense potential where we could see a 10x or more, where you could see a $3 billion market cap, a $10 billion market cap, somewhere, anywhere, and everywhere in between that range by the end of this move. And a $3 billion market cap would give you a 10x, which at least would put you then at about 75 cents. At most, we could see something that's at like $1.17 to genuinely, I really mean it, man. If we were to go all the way up and see a 30x, that puts us at about $100 billion. That's a 29x, or sorry, not $100 billion, a $10 billion market cap. And I could see that happening too. We'll probably find turbulence up here at some point. As far as when it happens, that's the question, right? Are we going to do this all in one fell swoop like we did here? Is this move going to be bigger or shorter than the last move? These are questions that we need to address. I'm going to tell you right now, I think already that this next move is going to be bigger than the last move. Yes, that's pretty crazy stuff, because this last move here from below to a high was an overall 17, 8, that was an 18, almost a 19x. Crazy movement. I genuinely mean this. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if this next move was bigger. So if it is bigger, what lines up with that? Low to high. Let's go overall to the high. Let's do it. Low to high. And we're in the middle of it now. I think we've broken out. I think we're in the middle of it now. That would put us right there. So 75 cents I think is a good minimum target. If we were to fall short of this move, then maybe a 46 cent to 53 cent area is a good minimum target, okay? Minimum target right in the middle of the range. What I think we're going to see is probably $1.17. We're going to break above $1 and we'll go to $1.17. That's the double golden ratio, the 2618, and that's a 15x from here. I very much do believe that we're going to see that. $1.64 and beyond is also possible. Sometime between now and I would say November, the middle of November. That'd be my guess. If not, if we consolidate more, if this aftermath of this flash crash is a little bit harder to digest than I'm thinking it will be for altcoins, then it's very possible that these are end of year targets instead of mid-November targets. But still, by the end of the year, we should be at phenomenal prices like this. By the end of the cycle, I see no reason why ZORA shouldn't see some type of move that correlates to 100x or more, where we could see a $7.91 price, a $10 price, even more than that. We could go all the way up to $15. Now, $15 is pushing it. That's like the limits of what I would expect we do, but it's possible. 420 at a minimum for the end of the cycle, $15 at a maximum, and likely somewhere in between. I like that $8 to $10 area personally. 420, even at a minimum, is still a 55x. And let's say I'm wrong. Let's cut that in half. Let's say it's 220. That's still a 29x. That outperforms the average altcoin between now and the end of the cycle. I don't have anything else for you guys. What ZORA is going to do, I think, will only be amplified with BALAJIS. Okay, if ZORA can see a 100x, BALAJIS could see a multi-100x. I genuinely, because this is the first kind of creator coin. This is the first creator coin, and it's the creator of the creator economy in ZORA. I could just see this happening, right? And this is the biggest creator economy right now, as far as I'm aware. Anyways, I don't have anything else that I want to say. I think I've said it all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully I gave you something to think about. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. ZORA and BALAJIS are both, I think, good investments, but it's up to you to do your own research and determine that for yourself. So I hope you do that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.